20 times and it's still just as fucking exciting. Hey boys, how are we doing?
We're great. I'm already reading Troy's comments in chat, and they're making me happy. So
episode 20, guys. I had the under. I'm going to be honest.
I'm not allowed to gamble.
Touche.
That's true. We would have broken a lot of rules if we got into Troy that.
I'm sorry, Troy. Just kidding. There was no gambling on the show, and I was not gambling on the show, so we're good. So episode 20. Our guest tonight is JT Tomlinson from Reptichip. Hi, JT.
Hi.
How are you?
Thanks for having me on.
Anything
happy
for
to be
you,
here.
buddy. Are you really happy to be here?
I'm very privileged to be here. It's just past my bedtime.
Same. Let's call it.
Okay.
Just call it now.
Out there.
Yeah. Do you feel, JT, that you were mildly pressured into being on this episode?
No, I don't think so. It was like,
okay.
Literally, I was approached and they were like, dude, if you can't make it, what are we going to do? We're going to have to fill it in with like Justin or Ozzy or Billy. I don't know, somebody like, and I'm like, if it means that much, I'll do it.
I remember that. That's exactly how I remember that conversation in the car ride going. It definitely wasn't me absolutely begging you to do it. So that's fair.
I don't think that was it.
Okay.
But
it had nothing to do with me mailing a letter once a week.
Yeah.
Just to formally invite JT to be on the show.
That is true.
I just thought it was rude that Patrick waited for you to be really intoxicated to ask you.
Yeah.
Oh, that is kind of my MO. So it's how I got my wife to marry me too. So here we are. Works out well. Well, guys, 3 of us survived Pomona. The other didn't show up, which is fine.
He survived everything else. So.
He survived everything else. So I guess that's important. But I guess we can start traditionally. Troy, how was your week?
You know what? I fed today so that I could beat Chase to the I fed today bullshit speech that he gives. And so I had a great feed. Outside of that, the rest of my week was fine. It's I had to spend a couple extra days making my way home from Pomona. I came home to like 6 inches of snow, and we're getting 12 inches of snow tonight and tomorrow.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot.
Some snow's bigger.
Yeah. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Chase, how was the feed today?
It was actually great, which
Of course.
I was happy because I was gone last week from the facility, so Justin fed, and I hadn't cleaned the animals beforehand because I was out of town, and he said it was bad.
Okay.
So
That's because he doesn't know what he's doing.
I spent I ended up going through like 17 blocks of Reptichip on Sunday for 10 hours on the adult female wall.
I just saw like dollar signs pop up.
Yeah, he's like screen. Every time Reptichip's mentioned,
I like the product placement.
Small sponsorship, but
yeah, it's good.
But no, like I usually love cleaning the adult female wall, but I was so tired of it by the end of Sunday because so many full cleans. But it paid off. It paid off big time today. So.
Good, man. Good. That's awesome. JT, how was your week?
It was great. Just got back from Pomona with this guy. Unfortunately,
they roomed together.
And
we did room together.
This guy?
Yeah.
And a cardboard cutout of Antoine. So yeah,
that's true. It was a good time. It's good.
We all had good times.
We did. I brought the flu back from Pomona. That was fun. I've spent the past 4 days in bed. That's fun. I know. It is what it is. But we're gonna survive.
What it really means is monkeypox because
I don't
know. He had cut out like every night, and like woke me up at 4 a.m. coming in.
Oh,
when you say coming in,
that's coming in. Yeah. You wouldn't think so, right? I mean,
I don't know what you guys are into. I mean, it seemed very sexual the entire weekend, and me and Lisa left very confused about you and Patrick's relationship.
There was
there was a lot of tension there for sure. You could cut the tension with a knife. Things I've learned on the Pomona trip, and we'll talk more about the show in a second, but right now it's clearly about JT and I. We're on very different sleep schedules. I learned that very
Or
quickly.
opposite.
Like JT's like, I'm gonna get up at 4, Patrick. And I was like, oh well, I just went to bed. So perfect. This is good. So there was a lot. We learned a lot about each other this trip, and I'm really happy about that. Chase, I wish you had been there to join us. I think that
I
Me
saw
too.
an uncomfortable amount of Lisa Frank shirts, it looked like, just being rocked out. It seemed very California. So
I would
congrats, guys.
I would argue it was the appropriate amount of Lisa Frank style shirts.
Well, that makes sense because you wear the Lisa Frank Crocs all the time.
I mean,
it was concerning. You would have thought it would have. I was relying on Patrick to be like kind of my translator for California,
of course,
because he, leaves a blood trail of. Wow,
that's good. Thanks, Troy.
Leaves a blood trail of like bleeding heart behind him whenever he's going anywhere, and it was not like that at all. In fact, going back to our Antoine cutout.
Oh God.
We were done with the show, and Troy, of course, is bringing Antoine cutout with us every place we go. And so we don't need to go up to the hotel. So Troy's like, hey, will you take Antoine to the bar for us? I was like, yeah, I'd be happy to. So we go to the bar with Antoine cutout. There's like 5 people in the bar. That's it. The manager's there serving us. And so I ordered a beer for me and a beer for Antoine and a beer. Like a pink lemonade for Patrick for whatever he's into these days.
Shirley Temple.
Right.
Yeah.
Extra sugar on the rim.
Absolutely.
They were like, he can't have a beer. And I was like, why? And she just looked at him and she looked back at me and she's like, you can't have a beer. And I was like, oh, I didn't think California was like that. And she looked back at me and she's like, does he have ID? And I was like, look at him. No, he doesn't have an ID. He obviously looks like he's over 30 at least, right? And then Patrick is like, hey man, this is just the way it goes. You don't want to. And I was like, bro, I'll give you 2 guesses why she didn't serve him, but I bet you only need 1. That's the part of California we were in.
I love
shame, Patrick, shame.
I love that, like, these people clearly were trying to be like, JT, stop being an asshat. And JT's like, no, y'all are racist for not giving a cardboard cutout a beer.
I mean, we did auction off a black man for US ARC at this same said place. So
yeah, so we'll get to the auction in a second. We got I guess we can well, fuck it. We'll just talk about that now. Yeah, so we get to the auction and Vanessa's like, all right, so y'all are auctioning off Antoine, right? And I was like, whoa, I didn't know it was that kind of party. That got awkward real fucking quick. And then I was like, I have no part in this.
I was not a part of that at all.
Yeah. Oh.
They haven't got the memo from 1865 yet.
Seriously. And then like they come in and they hold it up and we start auctioning off this Antoine cardboard cutout, which somehow just felt wildly inappropriate. Just like I got the joke, but it just felt so inappropriate, like on so many levels. And then we also auctioned off another brown man in Brian Cusco. So like it just I don't know. Sark was
an Islander, right?
I mean, he's so all right, so the show, let's talk about. So this was my first Pomona. Troy and JT both. Troy's kind of a veteran. He goes year after year after year. JT, this was your second one?
Second one, yeah.
Relatively similar to the first?
Little bit different in that, economy is a little bit, more mild, but as far as the door, like these guys, Robbie brings it like every time, and he's just growing bigger and bigger. That's a fantastic promoter.
Yeah. So to kind of give a little backdrop, the facility itself is 3 acres indoors. It took JT and I 3 minutes to walk from the front to the back unimpeded.
You guys walk a lot faster than me.
Yeah, it was a 3-minute walk.
We get our steps in, bro.
Oh, dude, we were crushing it.
It was an 11-minute walk for me, by the way.
Was it really? Wow.
Yeah, well,
we literally measure our steps on the way. We had like 1,900 or 19,000 steps Saturday.
Yeah, it was good.
You guys also walked to fucking breakfast, you weirdos.
Yeah, we did. I regret nothing.
That was, to not go to breakfast with you. I mean,
yeah. Not only did you walk to breakfast, but then when I invited you to breakfast, which involved a car, you turned me down.
We were on our way.
This got awkward quick. Anyway,
these are your friends.
Anyway, so the venue is absolutely monstrous, right? 3 acres indoors. They estimated about 30,000 people through the door. 400-ish vendors with about 800 tables. I think it's reasonable to say the largest reptile show in the country. I don't know of any that are bigger or even close, to be honest. I don't know how big like some of the shows outside of the country are, but I mean this was far and away the largest show that
pretty fucking big.
I mean it was monstrous. It was very different though than like the NARBCs, which I guess I wasn't super surprised by. But it was definitely more felt like a pet trade show versus like high-end ball pythons exclusively, which is almost what NARBCs feel like now, do you think is that a reasonable assessment, Troy?
I would absolutely agree. Yeah, it's two different shows to me, right? I think you're right when the majority of Tinley seems to be very ball python related, and a lot of big names come in for that show, and this seems very pet trade to like people kind of midway into really doing what we're doing. Yeah,
it was a good time. I loved there was a huge variety of species there. Yeah, man, it was just a fucking racket. It was intense. Got to meet a ton of California people that don't always make it out to the other shows. Want to say thank you to everybody that came and said hi to Troy and I about the podcast. We got a lot of great reception. That was super exciting. Chase, you could have been there to talk.
I could have.
June, Chase, just so you know, man, typically people would come up and say, "Hey, you and Patrick do a really good job," and we would have to say stuff like, "What about Chase?" And they're like, "Who's Chase?"
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it was awkward. I was like, yeah, I really enjoy doing the show with Troy and Chase. And they're like, well, I know Troy, but who's that Chase guy? And I was like, the quiet one in the bottom right corner. And they're like, oh.
They kept comparing you to like a guy that would like be on Craigslist looking to watch two people do weird stuff in a bedroom in a corner. And I was like,
That also, that kind of fits the bill because, I mean, I've had both of you stay over. So, hey.
That's true.
He has the lighting for it, though, right?
He does.
Yeah, I have woke up in Chase's spare bedroom and saw Chase watching Lisa and I sleep.
That's kind of expected when you stay at someone's house. Right?
Troy's actually much more tolerable asleep.
In person?
That's a pretty low bar. I like how Chase just sat there and like took it not kindly and then just like let one rip. That was good.
Yeah,
no, it's okay. I mean, I'm used to it at this point.
Well, I'm just used to the abuse.
He hates us.
That's okay. He'll be fine.
I'm going in June just to get it all back.
Are you actually going in June? Because that would be exciting.
Yeah, because I don't have like any other things going on in June. I already looked ahead. So the goal is to fly out, hang out, have a good time.
Okay. We'll see.
Right. I don't know about the Lisa Frank shirts though.
JT, will you be coming back in June?
Is that for the Pomona show?
Yep.
Man, that one sounds sick, right? Like, so not only are they doing the reptiles, they're doing birds, like in a different bay, the same size.
And aquarium stuff.
Yeah,
And
4 buildings. Yep.
in the other bay. And in between all the bays are going to be plants, like on the outside.
Oh, wow.
It's going
to be 5 acres of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk Patrick into that because I think, man, if we just take 4 or 5 days and then we need to do a day trip down to like San Diego and see some stuff too. So
yeah, we'll see how things are going.
He's so non-committal.
Yeah, very non-committal at this very moment, but there's a chance. So we'll see how it goes. But no, it was a great time. I'm glad we did it. It was different than I expected, and I mean, we're definitely going to go back. California was awesome.
He loved the cheese sticks.
Oh my god! Yeah, they had a corn dog and cheese on a stick vendor in the venue.
I mean, I love the corn dogs, obviously.
Yeah, we all know you love the corn dogs. We all know.
The world knows I love the corn dogs. But yeah, he was stoked. He's like, there's concessions everywhere.
It was good, man. It was good.
Yeah. They really do it up pretty legit there, you know.
Oh, everyone say something nice to Chase. He looks sad. Chase, I like how yellow your shirt is.
Yeah,
I think your beard is very nice.
Chase knows I love him.
I hate all of you.
I don't have to come out
JT.
on an episode and say something nice because he's my boy.
Did anybody mention his land?
JT's the only one I've actually flown out to sea too, so that should mean something to the two of you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very aware that you refuse to come visit, and that's fine. I'm okay with it.
Chase, let me ask you this, Chase. Who got up the mountain faster, me or JT?
Probably JT. Especially since what? That was 15 years ago plus.
For me?
Yeah.
We're looking like 20, man.
Wait, he hasn't came out and went up the mountain with you?
No.
I know.
He's holding out. This is a whole issue. He's holding out.
He's just like,
that means by default, Troy has made it up the mountain the fastest of any of us.
That's true.
Chase.
So JT, you've got to beat like an hour and 20 minutes.
Are we talking up Yona?
Yeah.
Probably can't do that. You got it, Troy. It's all you.
Yeah. Based on the athleticism I saw from JT this weekend, I can assure you Troy's going to hold that record firmly.
You got it secured, man.
Troy is performance.
It was tough. I definitely thought I died twice. I literally talked to Jesus for a minute by a tree.
Yeah.
He shaved his head just so he'd be more aerodynamic when he runs.
Yeah.
Just on him, the beard hair though was the problem.
Yeah, too much drag.
Troy, I saw a picture of you without a beard. I think the beard's a good decision.
Yeah, thanks, man. I have like a baby face. I look like a fat piece of shit.
I think it's
now I just look like a fat bearded piece of shit.
Isn't it?
I mean, I'm a firm believer that beards are makeup for men. And yeah, and I think it was the right decision to stick with the beard.
I grew this beard because I was told that Molly was into beards. And so I've just been waiting.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. She actually asked Troy to grow the beard. And
that
it was
makes
like, for you, of course.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Chase and I are future brother-in-laws. It's gonna be good times.
Troy's playing the long game. It'll pay off one of these days.
Will it though? Will it? Will it? I don't know if it will, guys. I don't know if it will.
Chase, if you had to pick one of us to marry your sister on this episode here, who would it be?
Troy, absolutely you.
That's not true at all. We all know the actual answer, Troy.
He doesn't want JT to beat up his sister.
Do you think JT beats women?
Wow.
I don't know. Do you? You said it.
Yeah, kind of a little bit. JT's got that look.
I mean, if
Patrick doesn't
if you beat the shit out of you this weekend, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah, he beat the fuck out of me. This motherfucker literally was leaping up and down on my bed shouting at me to wake up. It was insulting.
It was his birthday.
I was going to say,
that's right.
Yeah,
That's
he
right.
texted that he was going to wake you up because we're all sending birthday text in our group message.
Yes.
And he's like, JT texts back. He's like,
9 a.m.
Patrick's still asleep. He went out on a pizza bender last night.
Okay, first off, y'all act like it was
At
so
Troy's.
early.
Wait, at
Yes,
Troy's.
at Troy's. Yeah. Okay, first off,
he was out to 4 a.m. eating pizza with Troy.
and then I was awoken at 7 a.m. by JT jumping up and down on my bed like a madman.
It was his birthday.
It was your birthday, man. We forgot that we celebrated your birthday.
I mean,
It was, you know what, guys, I
kinda
actually really
mild.
do appreciate that. It
Kind
was a
of
lot of fun.
wild celebration, really.
No, you're right. You're right. But I feel like that was partially because you weren't sure if I was wearing clothes under the blankets, and that's why I kept my blankets on.
I had my hopes up.
So
Cameron out, ready to go.
You can't blame me for trying.
I get it. I get it. But yeah, no, it was a great time. I do appreciate the
Did
birthday
you
celebration.
like sharing the big ass tomahawk steak that we got? That was actually a really good steakhouse.
It was good.
We had a good time.
I haven't shared the video of you and I two-stepping and dipping. I haven't shared that yet with the world.
I didn't realize that was a thing.
Well, it's because you were intoxicated.
You were
Time out. Can we talk about that? We got put in this private room and it was cold and JT just disappeared and all of a sudden every light in the entire building was coming on and off because JT was flipping breaker switches in the back room.
We need to warm that bitch up.
Okay.
We're wondering how many lights you turned off in the other rooms while people were eating.
Do you want to know how many people came to help me immediately when that started?
None.
Or happened?
All of them.
All of their shit has 2 cameras looking at it. I was like, that's pretty quality security system there. And somebody was actually monitoring it because I was only doing that for 5 minutes before somebody came and found me.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were so polite too. They're like, let me help you.
Yeah. And at some point, JT comes back to the table and he's like, y'all like that seashell light that's going on the wall over there? And we look over and there's just this projector on the wall. And we're like,
it was like the foam of the sea dance or whatever.
It was very beautiful, purpley toned. Yeah, it was very beautiful.
I took credit. I was like, yeah, that was me. That was me.
It's such a movie.
That was kind of the best part of the whole
Really?
show. I was like, yeah, the lighting.
Are you ever going to wear your shirt again? Your special shirt?
Actually, I packed it in Patrick's suitcase to take back home. So,
did you actually do that?
you can tell who unpacked.
I haven't actually. My bag is literally right there next to me, and I have not
That's
unpacked
disgusting.
I'm not
yeah,
lying.
that's pretty
I'm
much
wearing
what I
that shirt out
expected.
to the next
Next
dinner
show,
that Lisa and I go to. It's
it.
going to become my dinner shirt.
Oh my god, that's a bad decision, guys. I think we need to pause for 1 second. JT didn't have that much to drink, and he was, a little tipsy, bud. When did you
I
become
just assumed you roofied him.
No, I didn't. When
No,
did you
I,
become such a fucking lightweight, man?
I've been on a health kick lately, so I haven't been drinking. So 2 beers was
Game.
See,
game
it saves you
on.
money. That pays dividends.
Yeah,
Chase,
I'm
man, you
fucking
missed
rich
out.
now.
I thought JT was going to fight a lady trying to get into the women's restroom.
Oh my god,
I don't
I'm
remember
so
that.
sad I missed that.
dude.
Oh, it was pretty funny.
He was so mad at us for just standing and existing.
And JT was spot on, quick with a comeback, and you could just see in her face that she was not happy with anything JT had to say.
It's true.
I have no recollection of it.
I like that we're just throwing your dirt out.
Was it dirt? I don't even remember.
No, it wasn't dirt. No, here was really the best part, right? We get back and I don't even remember where I went. And then I was like, where is JT? Oh, no, this was the last night for dinner. That's what it was. We left. JT stayed at the auction.
Oh,
I come back and I'm like, where's JT? And they're like, oh, he said he was going upstairs to get changed real fast. So he'll be back down. I was like, okay. I go upstairs and JT is literally passed out on the bed. Just looks like he walked into the bed and collapsed no, it wasn't even 10 o'clock, sir. It was 9:30 at best.
Yeah, we got back pretty early. Yeah.
Yeah. JT was donezo. Absolutely donezo. Yeah. The next morning, I'm like, JT, what happened? He's like, Had 2 beers again. I was done. It's like, oh my God.
My limit.
It was definitely good times. You definitely brought a lot of laughter and happiness to the weekend.
I'm glad because I don't remember most of it. So
It was a good time. I appreciate your presence being there.
Must have been great.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was an adventure to say the least. It was good. It was good. JT brought some energy to the table.
JT, who is your favorite person you met at Wear a Funny Shirt dinner night?
Oh, he doesn't remember the night.
Yeah. Literally, I've got a pass on that one. We just talked about
All right.
We just covered the fact that he doesn't remember.
I did realize, though, that there were several people asking me about some sales. And they were like, hey, Troy got with you about it, right? And I was like, no.
This is a real conversation.
Yeah,
I
Dean.
would remember that.
Yeah.
It was Dean.
And
I have to say, yeah,
Troy's just leaving me out to dry, basically. And they were like,
can I
go direct with you? I was like, always go direct with me. Don't ever go.
Yeah, I definitely dropped the ball on me and Dean's conversation where I did promise him that I would reach out to you, and I didn't.
Other than that, other than the saboteur, everything was great.
Sorry.
We had a special guest appearance at the show from Miguel. Nobody saw that coming.
Right.
Yeah, the auction. Yep.
I haven't seen him.
It's nice to see him. We haven't seen him in a few years.
Yeah, it's been a hot second. I haven't seen, obviously this was my first trip to California at all. So if Miguel's not flying out to the East Coast or to Tinley, I don't see him. So
yeah, it was nice to see him.
That was fun. Yeah, all in all, the show was great. I mean, it really was.
Really good time.
It was a really, really good time.
Chase, will you be coming on your loan with like just yourself, or are you bringing your Justin?
It'll be myself.
Your entourage.
Okay. All right.
Chase,
No Abby?
Maybe Abby.
Okay. Lisa would like her Abby time.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody likes their Abby.
Ooh, that felt like a hard pass.
Are you gonna bring Amelia?
Yeah.
Okay, so then yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Amelia,
you wouldn't bring her because Lisa's coming, but now that Amelia's coming, you'll bring her?
I like how this worked out.
I'm messaging Lisa right now.
No, you can't come, JT.
JT, you should bring somebody.
No, he doesn't need to bring anybody.
No,
Patrick.
No.
No.
JT's banned for bringing someone.
Yeah, first off, JT can't bring anyone, but if he finds someone there, I'm okay with that. No.
Why can't I bring anybody?
I just no.
What, it's like a rule?
Well,
Yeah,
we played JT Show Bingo, and that one is already crossed off. So
Yeah.
Right. We're gonna have to get filled in.
Yeah, if my wife ever goes missing at a show, I look in Chase's room, JT's room, and Antoine's room. That's my first three people I go looking for. Not that I want to find her, I just want to make sure she's okay.
So I will say, like, California did meet all expectations. Beautiful scenery, the people, Jesus fucking Christ. It was great.
Oh, the ice cream.
Dude.
Sorry.
Ice cream?
And the ice cream.
Place.
Ice cream, right?
Salty, salty Oreo is the best ice cream in the planet.
It needed peanut butter.
Shut up.
Yeah, that was at the top of my list.
I don't
You know
know if
what's funny though, when we got there and it's kind of, I'd only been to that show once before, but we were talking to people and they're like, hey, don't judge California based off of, and I've heard this before at the last show, don't judge California based off of what you see at Pomona. And we were like, I don't know what you're seeing, but like the weather's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's mountains there. There's beach there.
The people are nice.
The people are beautiful, nice. Like everything.
Yeah,
was,
great.
It was. It was like the air was crisp and clean. I was just like, yeah, I won't judge you on that alone.
I I feel like if the tax rate was like 7% lower, JT would have moved Reptichip there.
I'm this close.
Yeah, he's already on the verge. Like, he's like, fuck the 78% tax rate. I don't care. We're just gonna do it.
It's not really the tax rate, Patrick. It's your people.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
You know, I've heard that large chunks of the state are your people. It's a big argument they make.
Right? Like,
wait, which one of you is a Democrat? Which one of you is a Republican? I'm just kidding. I totally know this.
Come on.
I don't think you do.
We don't talk politics on this show.
This is why we get along so well. We're
It's
perfect foils.
Yet.
It's
Just wait for
good.
the election episode.
Oh,
Oh, that's great.
That sounds like the most horrible idea in the history of horrible ideas.
JT, we're gonna have you back on for the November 4th episode.
And it just runs like it'll
Well,
run
you
all
know-
night long.
you know
Yeah.
Your predictions. Yes.
We're just gonna have an open mic while we're all watching the results come in.
Nope.
Can we
It
please
essentially
do
becomes
that?
talk radio. People can call
Yeah.
and
You know,
enjoy.
you know I'm
Yes.
talking shit about everybody, right?
I know. Well, that
That
was kind of my joke with Troy, 'cause it's
100%.
like I fucking shit on both parties. Like, fuck them all. Like, Jesus goddamn Christ.
and that's why we get along.
I was going to
It's
say that's why we
great.
all get along.
Just fuck
I just
'em
saw
all.
your follower rate just drop. Like,
Yeah, it literally
like a roller
just
coaster,
tanked.
bro. You're out. You're done.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I really like this election episode though. I want to do that.
I think it sounds hilarious now that I think about it.
Yeah, okay, deal. Troy, do I swear too much, would you say?
Just a little.
You swear?
Apparently I swear too much. He let the comments know. He's not bold enough to say it to me out loud. He has to say it behind the keyboard.
It's a little passive. He just types it in.
This is like the true epitome of a keyboard warrior. He's very brave in that keyboard, but he won't say it to my face.
Oh, you know what? That's
Wait.
not true. I have seen Troy cuss someone out in person, and it
Really?
got pretty scary. It was intense. And it
I
was
thought it
over a
would be.
pizza.
It was
I
a
bet it
fourth
was-
grader.
It was over a pizza, and it was the greatest thing I'd ever
If
Hold
it
seen.
had
on.
to do with food, I could totally see that.
Troy, what happened?
This fourth grader stole my pizza.
Essentially,
Okay.
a mall cop at a show told him that he couldn't eat his lunch at the show because he
Oh.
didn't buy it at the venue. They
Yeah.
weren't selling food at the venue,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
and he
I-
kindly let the mall cop know that they could go fuck themselves.
Oh my god.
And eating
It got
his
a little
pizza in
heated.
front of them.
I'm with you
Mhm.
there, dude. That's legit. That's totally 100% within your realm.
Yeah, I was not. She caught
Oh,
me,
okay.
and yes, it was a female, but she stepped into my booth, and that's like stepping into my home, and
She almost caught hands.
she about caught hands. Yeah,
Troy's like,
I was
she
pretty
walked
close.
into my dojo and she almost caught hands.
Across the
Yeah.
line.
Joe had to walk away because Joe was going to beat her up too. I just stuck around to
Joe
just
was
make her
gonna
feel
beat her
small.
up.
Yeah,
So-
dude, Joe left. Dude, Joe was fucking hot.
Yeah, Joe was.
Pretty
Joe
funny.
left.
Woo,
Summer and I
she
took our
crossed
pizza
a
to
lot
the
of
other side of the
lines.
banner. Summer and I took our pizza to the other side of the banner, and we're eating it and watching through the banners at the entire thing go through. It was amazing.
Summer came over and said like something like
Fuck that
like
bitch.
she had never been in trouble or anything for her. She was like, I've never been like a part of, I don't remember what words she used, but it was super funny. Like,
yeah.
because that's like the most simplest thing I've ever been in my life. I think Summer needs a weekend out with like 1997 Troy, and I'm
Oh
gonna
my
teach her some
Scared
shit.
straight with Troy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Go keep you on the straight and narrow.
Every
Emo
time I
Troy.
hang out with Summer, I do feel like it's been a sheltered existence.
I mean, other than that one time when we did a podcast in an Airbnb, and
Nope.
Summer definitely would have got us canceled.
No, we're not talking. We're not. Okay, so I thought I deleted that recording. I found it on my phone,
Yes.
and so I clicked play just to see if like it was still there, and it is, and it's still never getting aired. Jesus Christ, it's good.
Why can we play this like our
No.
100th episode?
No, we can play. You know what? Our last episode can be that. How does that?
So the
sound?
100th episode.
That's it. Is that where we end? Are we
Guys,
gonna
we've got a date.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
How about if one of us dies and this fizzles out, you play it then?
It's a tribute.
Okay, so which one of us? So which one of us dies and the show fizzles out?
Me. I die.
Brown
So,
sugar.
well, no, but like if you die, do you think the show fizzles out?
Well, I think that you have such a giant ego that you would keep going, but I think Chase would probably feel like it should fizzle out.
Okay.
Yeah, it would just lack the pizzazz without Troy, honestly. I mean,
I think
what
you guys
would
should
we
do an
do?
audience vote. Who do you want to die first?
Yeah. I mean, we only have 26 people in here. If we could get all 26 people to vote, that would be great.
I misspelled who. Strong work on my typing skills today, guys.
Wow.
Ooh. Do you want to vote for die first? Oh, Troy's trying to collect the life insurance Bob sold him. Nice.
I should take life insurance out on you two idiots. And yeah, maybe I'll do that.
I don't think that's a good bet at all. I think we'd be better off taking it on you, my man.
JT looks so bored.
No, this is
no. That's cool. I was just
He's about to be 2 beers in, if you know what I mean.
Hey, JT, can you show us who you have pictures of behind you on your mantle, your shelves there?
He's not doing that.
I can't.
That's his
It's
his mom's house.
Not my place to be doing that. I had to give it like a realistic, like a high class background or something.
Wait, so are you at your mom's house?
Yeah, I am.
Is your mom home?
No, she's not.
Is she home?
She's not.
He's house sitting.
No,
really
she's really not.
He really is house
All
sitting.
right. Because I would like to meet your mother.
Yeah, well, maybe sometime you can have her on an episode.
Okay.
Do you think she would come on?
Yeah, but she's way too nice for you guys.
Does she like talking
She's
about her
classy
son?
lady, I don't know.
Yeah, but does she like talking about you?
Is she proud of you?
Of course. Well,
Do you have other brothers and sisters?
No, it's just me. Solo.
Okay, so she doesn't have a choice. Okay.
One and done. No, they were like, why do we need anything else?
They were like, this is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Creme de la creme. I really appreciate all 26 people putting the effort in to vote on who needs to die first. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is me getting mad at chat.
Just so you 26 people know, I'm not offended if you put my name. Can we get to know JT for a minute?
Yes.
No.
Not off track with Troy yet, but just some JT questions.
Okay.
How old are you?
45.
All right.
Old.
I had to think about
How many children do you have out there running around that don't know that you're their dad?
0.
Good answer.
Good answer. Yeah. How long did you serve in the American Armed Forces?
Total of 6 years.
6 years. Good stuff. What led you to want to join the Armed Forces?
Just always wanted to do it since I was a kid. Maybe too many movies or whatever. Yeah, my dad was.
Dad or mom or grandpa, uncles, anybody serve?
Yeah, like everybody. Like my grandfather was in the military. My dad was in the military. I mean, I grew up on military installations overseas and all that. So there's that.
All right.
God, indoctrination is real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're kind of already used to it, and a lot of ways. And I mean, some kids go the opposite direction. They don't want nothing to do with it, but it worked out for me. I was a young, aggressive kid that needed structure. So it was really good for me.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Nice. What made you pick, you were in the Army?
Yeah, I went into the Army.
Right. Thank you. What made you pick Army over, Navy or Marines, or was there something that drove you to it?
I went through the ROTC program in school. I didn't go directly into the military. I kind of wanted to knock out some school, and I turned down a 4-year Air Force ROTC scholarship for a 2-year Army ROTC scholarship because I was just like, I want to shoot people in the face. So,
all All right.
You know what's
we
hold
don't
on?
really
You
have
know
to
what's
cover, we don't really have to cover that part.
yeah? You know what's funny is JT specifically called me today and said, "Hey, let's try and avoid like the shooting people conversation," and
Yeah,
then
I
like
wasn't
dove
gonna-
right in.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you,
did. He
JT.
dove right into it.
Well, there's that. I just didn't want to go over specifics about.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
no more-
We're not going to talk about that at all.
Sorry, no
Uh,
locations.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, that's
So-
what I wanted to do. I didn't want to, like, I don't know, get a devil.
It's okay, JT.
What
we
about
love
like,
you.
did you ever want to like fly helicopters or airplanes or some shit? Or was it always,
Since I was like 4, but
Yeah.
yeah. No, I wanted to be the guy there doing stuff.
all right.
I got my wish. I got my wish a lot quicker than I think. I grew up in a kind of a peacetime military, like growing up when I wasn't in the military, but being a dependent of somebody in the military. And generally, there wasn't a lot of wars going on. But as soon as I got in the military, there was like 2 major wars and 3 proxy wars going on. So
You feel like that was
I got
partially your fault.
exactly what I wanted.
Patrick. Outside of wartime, JT, is there some place that the Army took you that you enjoyed seeing outside of our own country here? Or did you only serve like during wartime and never got to experience like a Germany or something like that?
I mean, I'd already grown up in Germany and England and Italy and all these other places that,
All right.
station. So I already had that. And, my folks made a effort to make sure that like we traveled a lot. If we were afforded the ability to do it and, like we're going to Rome on a weekend kind of thing or whatever, I was definitely given the cultural indoctrination there. My mom's
Is
like
there,
art history major, and so like I got the lowdown on everything that was going on.
oh, that was so cool. I like the history side of things.
And
Yeah.
like when you're a kid, like it's kind of underappreciated, but I appreciate it much more now.
Yeah.
And then having seen a lot of different parts of the world, it's like, wow, yeah. I mean, it means much more.
Do you have a favorite from as a child growing up in all those spots? Was there one that you liked more than?
I really liked Italy, and I wasn't a child there, but kind of a teenager. But yeah.
What part of Italy?
Well, we've traveled all over, but they lived outside of Vicenza, so it's hard. Italy's it's very different. Like you could be up in the Alps, or you could be on the coast. You could be in Capri. I mean, like
My
Italy,
my dad grew up in Ravenna, so
I don't know where that is, but I mean, like I wouldn't know. I just don't know that much about it. But like, I do know that there's very distinct regions, and there's very distinct. There's distinct cultures in each one of those regions, and it's fascinating. And it's pretty funny because my mom, she would kind of pick up every place that we went. She kind of pick up, a little bit of stuff. But when she went to Italy, she was speaking the language, and then I'm not kidding. In like 5 weeks, she was in the markets, picking up everything, living like an Italian. Like
I love it.
Picking up fresh food every day to cook. Blah blah blah. I mean, like living in a flat overlooking the courtyard. Like I was just like, wow. She just like assimilated immediately. Anyway, so that's how I grew up, and then I don't know that I saw any really cool places except like on leave or something, traveling around.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you think you have any children internationally?
No.
Jesus Christ. Troy really wants you to have a love child that you don't know about.
Troy was more hoping that JT was actually his dad.
Yes. Yeah. I tell people that JT and I are related.
Well, y'all look basically identical.
We look so much alike, and we're both very physically fit.
Twinsies.
I have yet to shoot a man in the face, but I also want to. So we have that in common.
That was apparent this weekend, I think. I got a lot of questions about shooting people in the face.
And if I had to shoot somebody in the face within this group of people, it would be wait.
It's
That
this
guy?
one. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's that guy.
I like
all right. I'm gonna get some off track with Troy questions in here, and then we can go back to being stupid.
Okay, because off track with Troy questions aren't stupid.
Yes, they're stupid, but we're gonna get it done with. What secret conspiracy theory do you think could be true?
9/11. It was an inside job.
I'm not talking to you.
I know. JT.
Are these these are questions I get?
Yeah.
I think honestly, when it comes to governmental shit, like I know too much about the government to know that anybody could keep anything secret from the American public. So I don't believe in a lot of conspiracy theories. So.
All right. Okay, we're gonna get away from that one.
Yeah.
If you were
what are you
immortal
talking
for a
about, Troy?
day-
No, I think we need to really focus more on that one.
It's time to double down.
Nope, we're going. If you were immortal for a day, what would you do?
If I was immortal for the day. Good question.
Yeah, like you can't
I don't
die.
know. Go slaughter all the Islamic jihadis.
Oh my God.
Okay, so on to another question.
Okay.
Let's go with this one and see where we go. If you could talk in your sleep, what do you think you would say?
What's that?
If you could talk in your sleep, what do you think you'd say?
Praise Allah.
I could talk in my sleep. What would I say? I don't know.
9/11 was an inside
What
job.
would you want me to say, Troy? What are you looking for here? Are you?
I don't know.
It's like some homoerotic
so
fantasy.
bad right now.
This is Troy's.
Oh my God! I wish Troy was here.
All right. How about this? We'll go with another easy one. If you could change your name, what would you change your name to be?
JT.
Is your name?
No, it's not.
Oh.
This is awkward. There we go.
Yeah.
Troy,
Wait,
Troy just
what's your
learned
name?
something new.
What?
I did.
Well, my name is James Tomlinson. That's my name.
Wait,
the
Chase,
story
you look
about
confused.
JT
No, I'm more confused that Troy didn't know.
Oh, I was like
my actual name.
Chase.
I was waiting for something a little bit more crazy, like we
do you
call
know
him
how
JT,
JT
but his
came
name's
about?
like Luke.
Do you know how JT came about? Do you guys?
I have no idea.
I thought you did. I think Jason. I thought
you
I told
probably-
you guys.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so I
probably
got out
told
of the
me. I just wasn't
military.
paying attention.
When I got out of the military, I went on my first contract. So I did contract work for like the DOD, Department of State, other entities for about 14 years. And so on your first contract, you kind of haven't, you kind of are you're unknown. You don't even know if you're going to make it in contract work. Like you had to do like this little selection process or whatever, but you're not accepted by anybody, right? Like, so you don't have a call sign until you're given a call sign. Like you can't go in there. Like we had guys go in there and they'd be like, I'm Zeus. And they're like, no, sleepy face. You're not sleepy face. Whatever it is, right? And that's your call sign for the rest of the time. Like if you want to work for 20 years, that's your fucking call sign. So I didn't have a call sign. They just refer to you as like a number or some shit. So it's kind of used to. But so I happened to go I was trying to do State Department work in Iraq because I had just got back from Iraq in the military and it's more modern than Afghanistan. And I really liked Iraq better than Afghanistan, but I knew I was one of the two. Pretty much knew it was going to be one of the two. But when we were in our selection process or whatever, they were like, hey, all you guys have been in Afghanistan, you're going back. And we're like, just not, it's a lot more third world than some of the cities and stuff in Iraq. Not as many amenities. So anyway, Fast forward, we go to Afghanistan, and this we were expecting to go right to the embassy. We're working for State Department, and this crew out of Mad Max. I'm not making it up. They look like there's all these dudes in man buns before man buns were a thing, Viking looking dudes
screaming that they're heading to Valhalla.
Yes. Dude on gun trucks and technical.
We live again.
I saw this in movies before, but I never seen dudes fucking rolling like this, right? Even some of our guys overseas in the military, they rolled fucking looking like a badass, but these guys had it at next level. They picked us up first, and they're like, "Hey, you guys, blah blah blah." They're like, "Jump in." We're like, "Fuck no, we're not jumping." Who are you with? And it was kind of a thing, and they're like, "Just jump in." So we jumped in, and it turns out they were with the Karzai Protection Detail, which is the president's protection detail. The U.S. instituted president of Afghanistan. We had to pull security around him, right? Or we had a detail around him. We'd heard about these guys, but we didn't know, that wasn't even on our radar. We thought we were going to go walk around aid workers or something in the embassy, whatever. Anyway, so these guys are like, "Hey, before anybody goes to the embassy, we test them out." So I was like, "Okay." So there's another selection process that they run at their own compound and off compound and stuff. And we're all off of this flight, from Azerbaijan, where nobody got sleep because it was just we had just been traveling for 20 hours. I remember the airplane seat in front of me, jittered out of its fucking, the bolts came out and fell into my lap. And I was like, there's a chicken on the flight. I was nobody got sleep, right? We were like, oh, what the fuck? Because we're flying commercial and we're used to flying Mac Air, military shit. We flew commercial into Kabul. Anyway, these guys pick us up. We go do our testing and shit. And I'm like, this is a high level shit. I'm not getting on this detail. I was just like, hey, just let's get me over to the embassy or whatever. And so they do stress shoots and driving and walking a guy that acted like Karzai around and all this shit, right? And so at the end of it, they have they're meet in the bar called the Tally Bar, right? They have their own bar.
Classic.
And so we meet in the bar and they start picking people for different teams. And they're like, "Hey, you're with snipers." And there's no way I was going with snipers. I'm not a sniper. I don't shoot anything beyond 50 meters. So they're they got drivers, and then they got their counter assault team. And I was like, if anybody, I'm kind of a counter assault guy, but they picked their guys. And I was like, cool. All right, I'm going to the embassy. I'm ready to go to the embassy. And then their close protection team came up, and I didn't that wasn't even an option, right? They were supposed to be the guys that were you got on another team, and then you could work your way into the close protection, the guys that are walking Karzai around. And close protection team team leader came up, and he was and none of them drank. And here I am in the bar where they told us to meet, and they're like, "Hey, are you?" They referred to me by whatever number. They're like, "Hey, let's go outside." So I went outside, and they were like, "You got a suit?" And I was like, "Yeah." I had it, they gave you a suit, but it was crammed into a duffel bag and shit. And I was like, "Yeah, I got a suit." And they're like, "Well, you're testing out for the close protection team." And I was like, "What?" They're like, "Get your suit. You're gonna get ready, and you're gonna be there in the morning. You're gonna walk the man from his house over to the palace, the office." I was like, "What the fuck?" All right, so I spent all night trying to press out a suit that was all fucking wrinkled and shit in a ball. There's no irons and shit over there, so I was trying to steam it in the shower and all stupid shit, right? He was going.
Trying to shake it out like you kept doing at the hotel.
Where do you think that came from? I was like,
there it is. Yeah, guys, I've never seen someone take out so much anger on a shirt trying to get a wrinkle out. It was shocking.
I can shake the wrinkles out of shit now.
Literally, yeah.
Jesus Christ. So anyway, long story short, so I'm in my like probationary period or whatever, and we're just walking him around. We did like a movement, like he was campaigning for elections at the time, so we're doing some kind of scary movements, but we'd also come by and just walk him around. Anyway, so we're coming out of the office. We're going to the mosque to pray. He prays. We don't. We stand outside, right? The team leader's like, he basically calls the code word over the mic. He's like, "Hey, we're taking a left." And so he comes out, and we kind of just like, it's just, you know, you kind of move fluidly around him. You're not rigid where you're like, if he says left and you turn the wrong way, then you like, anyway, team leader called the wrong direction. And being brand new, I was like, team leader knows what the fuck's going on. I'm just going to fall. And I bump right into Car's eye. And that's like rule number one. Like, unless something goes down, you
Don't touch the man.
Ever touch your, you know, protectee, asset, whatever, right? Like, you don't ever touch them unless shit goes down, right? You're trying to be as, you know, invisible as possible as you can be when there's like 12 dudes with guns around you. And I bump right into him, and awkwardly, like the point where Karzai speaks like fucking 6 languages, the point where he's like, "Are you okay?" Like Karzai, Afghan, is like, the president is like, "Hey, are you okay?" I was like, shit, fuck. I'll walk in, we walk him over to the mosque. And the team leader was like, you know, we get him situated. He's in mosque, secure the area, all that kind of shit. Team leader comes out, and he's like, did you touch the man? It was always the man or K, right? "Did you touch K?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Why?" And I wanted to say, "Because you called the wrong direction, motherfucker," right? Like, and I was like, "I fucked up." And they were like, "Yeah, you fucked up." And I'm like, "Oh, well, okay, I'm fired, whatever. I'm going home," right? It was that serious. And then we got done with all the shit and walked him back at the end of our thing and put him in his house. All right, he's got static security. We go back to our compound. And team leader again calls me in. He's like, "Hey, I just want to know why the fuck you ran into the man. Like, you know, that's rule number one. Like, you don't touch him unless something goes on." And I'm like, "I fucked up. I'm new. I fucked up." That's, you know, I was just like, I can't be like, "Dude, you fucked up." Like,
Right.
Not gonna, like, you just take full responsibility and accountability. He's like, "All right, man." And then he announced over the radio, he's like, "Hey, we got a new guy on personal ring. It's called personal ring security, like protective ring security, PRS. Call sign Julia Tango, JT." And from then on, I was JT, and I was like, "You're not really supposed to have a call sign that's like your name or anything like that." So I was like JT, like my initials. He's like, "No, JT, like just temporary." And I was like, okay. So I was just temporary for like 14 years.
That's hilarious.
That's the story of JT.
That's hilarious.
Nice.
Interesting. So not James Tomlinson.
Carried over.
That name doesn't fit you.
Just temporary?
Just temporary.
No,
I don't know.
He
He hasn't really stuck around the industry long either.
Oh lordy.
Anyway, long story. I just wanted.
That's good stuff.
No, it's okay, JT. It was a fine 27-minute story. It was okay.
I wanted to drop your subscriber rate.
We only lost 3 people during that story, so I'd call that a win all around.
They weren't going to be in with you in the long haul anyway.
No, that's probably true.
Show will be pretty short-lived.
Yeah.
JT, we all know you decently well, but not maybe our 25 people listening and the people maybe listening here in the future. You were a ball python guy. You unfortunately had a fire, which is emotional, and nobody ever wants to go through that. I have a friend here in Iowa going through that currently as well. And around the same time, the Reptichip side of things were happening.
Yeah.
About the right timeline, right?
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the fire, you've obviously stuck with Reptichip and stuff. Are you doing anything reptile related at all?
Yeah, we do. We have a really small collection, and most of it we just outsource. We've got a company that buys everything that it's like anything that we're not gonna, like 90% of the stuff, anything that we're not gonna. It kind of allows us the ability to kind of, for lack of a better term, build the collection back to where we want to build it to. And so it's given us kind of some time to do that. The fire, it kind of made that, before there was like Reptichip was really catching up with all the animals and stuff. And then after losing all the animals, it was kind of like a no-brainer to be like, okay, go all in with Reptichip and then, keep the animals that you have and develop that collection and then see where you want to go with it. But, 90%, 99% is Reptichip now. So,
all right. I mean, you and I share in a project. We both have some monarch stuff. We both have some mahogany monarch stuff. Can you share a little bit what you got going on in that project?
Let's see, what do we have going on in that project? Stuff I picked up from Justin years ago, and literally just did some of the long odds on stuff, especially now when you have genetic testing in. I feel like I'm very happy to get. I mean, now you got like single gene quad hets or like, that are still available for a reasonable price. And like on the back end of that, do some testing on it. And, you could have quint het or, double visual, triple hets in your collection to raise up and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of played a lot of the long odds with that stuff.
Did you, you and Chase are pretty good friends. Chase is your number one, or your number one. Chase is number one. I don't know.
It's Patrick.
We a little tight.
He calls.
Yeah, I don't know about that. When you call over to Chase and you want to buy an animal, does Chase give you a better deal than he gives the rest of us?
Absolutely.
I don't even talk to Chase. I still talk to Justin about this stuff.
Oh, this got awkward real quick.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Chase, how does it
Chase,
feel?
I talk to you.
I haven't really bought anything in a while, so it's been like a year at least. So I think last time I asked Chase, and he's like, talk to Justin about it. I don't remember though.
That's
but
typically what Chase tells me, but because I want half off.
Here's the deal: if I see something posted and usually I'm not like Patrick, and I'm not like I kind of keep tabs on what other people might have that before they're like, I'm not that well read on to it. But if I see something posted and I know it works for me, I'm like, there's no trying to get a deal. I just send money and I'm like,
well, not all of us have Reptichip money, JT, but
that's true. That is true.
Yeah. Some of us have to try to, offer Chase a handy in an alleyway.
Well,
Speak
I do
for yourself.
that regardless.
Speak for yourself, Troy. I think the other three people here don't have to do that. Yeah. Buddy.
All right. Well, anyways, back to some other stuff. If I ask you, JT, to explain the difference between Reptichip and any other cocoa, I think that's probably somewhat of a tough question, right? But like, could you give everybody somewhat of your opinion on? I get that it's biased as having your own product, but can you walk us down some of the differences in cocoa?
Absolutely. So I would say I could probably think off the top of my head of 6 or 7 kind of reptile branded coconut chips, which is what I think we're talking about, right? Coconut chip. We do a lot of types of cocoa, but coconut chips, specifically in the block form, right? That's what your audience is more familiar with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So at least 3 of those are all coming from the same manufacturer, not ours. Probably 4 of those, which is why you don't see a lot of difference in them. I think as a general rule in the reptile industry, we were kind of first to market in this stuff. Not that that says anything in particular, but when it comes to a lot of cocoa companies that you've seen in the last couple of years, you've seen it in the last couple of years, we're going on 10. So, all with the same manufacturer, and all because I think right off the bat, long story about how it came about is I moved my collection from Austin to San Antonio, and I couldn't get the humidity. And I tried humidifiers, I tried humidifying the room, I tried whole house, wouldn't ever do. I was like, we got to get an enclosure, we got to get in the tubs. Experimented with a bunch of shit, and I'm like, I found cocoa that was like agricultural grade or like weed, grow cocoa. And it was what I wanted, but it was dirty. It was like bleeding on all the animals. It left a ring around your tubs and stuff. Which I later learned is like high calcium, potassium, high sodium, which is something if you want to talk about shit your animal doesn't need, it's sodium. So anyway, did a lot of research, and it took me like 9 months of bringing in different cocoa products to realize what we're looking for, what we want, like all that kind of shit. Found our manufacturer, and I think you can, if anybody it's kind of like looking at snakes for the first time, right? Like you don't really know the difference between, if you looked at 2 regular ball pythons, they look like the same thing, right? After a little bit, you can be like, they are obviously different. Look at the neck pattern on that one. Look at the neck pattern at that one. Look at the side pattern. Like things start to match up. A little bit with the cocoa too. If you start looking at different cocos, you'll see, hey, this one's got great cut. This one's got a consistent cut. This one, why is it so red? This one, why is it why is it hard and chunky, or like, why is it so big? Why does it mold so fast? Those kind of things. There's a reason why we do everything we do. Like we have there's people that don't like fiber in their cocoa, for instance, right? Personally, I do. Not for everybody though. So we develop products for them without fiber, for instance. I think we've taken cocoa to the next level, and we'll continue to do that. So,
I actually love the fiber side of things in my cocoa. So if you take it out, you could send me a whole bag of fiber, and I'd be happy.
Well, I think it's important mix for your animal, just so that they're just, you got to give them variables too, man. It's just like anything else. If you want cat litter, like we have cocoa that's processed out for cat litter, like they're the same size chips and all that kind of stuff. Generally the block works for most stuff that breeders, maybe your audience is doing, I would say you could keep going down the line with this stuff, like how much washed it is. Generally what happens is like we put out information and we started educating people about coconut, and then our competitors literally would copy exactly what we say. Because who knows, right? Unless it's a cocoa guy, unless you really want to so we get a lot of copycat stuff, but that's just the game.
Speaking of the copycats and stuff, JT, very last, I'm tearing down, it's 5:30, and the guy I was telling you about showed up at our table wanting to know about, whether or not we wanted to get into cocoa. And I was like, where's JT when I need him? Yeah.
Yeah, we stopped by the table, and Patrick was laughing at me because they were like, have you used a block before? And I was like, yeah, I've used a block. And Patrick was getting off. He was like, this is hilarious.
No, JT acts like he was just like cool about it. They're like, have you ever used cocoa? He's like, no, what? Like, is this the stuff where like, you add water to it? Does it expand or does it? He was acting like he literally knew nothing about cocoa, and I was just like, "Oh my god, JT, you are
Just
absolutely
wanted to
laying it
hear
on
what they have to say.
so
Right?
thick right now." It was
That's
beautiful.
great. That's
I remember,
great.
I remember Justin and I were walking around a show one time, and just some random guy's table, and he was like, "So do you have any ball pythons?" And asked that to Justin. He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, what ones?" He's like, "All of them. Like, we've got all of them."
See, that's where you
It
wish
was so
Justin would have been
funny.
like,
It's
"Oh, I've
so
got like a
funny.
couple pastels and a normal, and just getting into it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All of them.
JT, a couple questions from the chat. Drink of choice.
Water. I'm 100% about water.
All right. Okay. I don't know if I believe that, but okay. I'm gonna let that stand.
Lately.
Ball Labs would like to know how many hours a week do you put into Reptichip, and what is the next level for the company?
Great question. Hard answer, but realistically, probably between 80 and 100. And you know, I mean, like, I think we have 11 employees right now, so we've got a lot of people working very hard.
Yeah, and to say something really quick, JT, just so people understand, not only do you have the ball pythons and Reptichip, but like you supply me with like my redline stuff, right? So like it's you have other things of the company that maybe people don't know about.
Yeah, you know, I kind of consider that like easy hatch trays and stuff like that. That's like I treat it like Reptichip. I test it out first, and if I like it and I believe in it, it'll be something like, you know, and it makes sense for us, then it'll be something that we do because I'd love to give people options about stuff that I believe in. I'm never going to sell anything that I'm not 100% sold on. It's just, I don't know, it's just the way I am. So I've got to be all in. And if I'm all in, I'm like, dude, this is value. I want to share that with people. Right. So,
yeah.
Yeah, we do a couple things like that.
Nice. Do you have a favorite morph within the ball python world?
Man, I kind of grew up on Ultramel stuff. That was my gig. I mean, look, I don't have the love-hate thing with Ultramel versus Monarch. I'll take both of them, man. I mean, like, they're both awesome, right? Like, so
I do find the people seem to think like it can either be Monarch or Ultramel.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's both. The answer is always just both.
Yeah,
right.
They're both great. Yeah.
Why not?
There's not a rule that says you can't have both, right, Troy?
Yeah, Troy.
I have both. So I guess the answer is yes.
Should be a guess at that point.
Don't sound convinced.
It sounds to me like you don't want to have Ultramel, though.
I think everything has its place.
Oh. Wow.
I think there's a lot to do with either one. You can, because it's a color mutation, you can flex it dark, light, and you can do in obviously different pattern, but you can do, it gives you an easily, you can do a lot with.
I really like mixing Ultramel with lavender albino.
Yeah, it works really well. And just regular albino.
The best.
JT, you have a question from Jen from Kittinger Reptiles. Who's your favorite Florida breeder?
That's a good question. You know, God,
there's a million of them.
Ridiculous.
It's tough.
Yeah. How do you choose? There's so many. All right, Jen, it's Kittinger Reptiles.
There you go. The good stuff. They're good peoples.
Just want to put it out there. Wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
Someday, if something happens to Lisa and Molly won't marry me, maybe Jen will.
Run, Jen.
I would
run.
Yeah.
Troy, what do you think the odds of Molly marrying you are?
I can
Have
ask
you
her.
met Molly?
Oh,
Yeah. You should
Chase,
ask
go.
her, Chase. Let's
Yeah.
find out.
Let's see
Inquiring
how
minds want
close.
to know.
Let's see how close they are
He's
to
texting
Troy's
right now.
odds.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't think Molly has joined in yet tonight, which is I'm sorry, Troy.
She hasn't, and I've noticed, and I've taken note
Okay.
that she's not here. I figured it's because she doesn't care about JT, and I think that's not very nice of her. But maybe she's busy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. I mean, she does love you deeply, so it makes sense.
She's waiting just to take my spot on an episode at some point, just to
What? She could take your spot every week.
Wow.
Could you take Troy's spot?
Yes, I would much rather watch than participate.
Well, that is not the first time Troy has said that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
That's actually how you met Lisa.
Yeah.
I like being on this show as much as I like going to the dentist or having I had my balls completely cut open one time. Worst thing I've ever had to go through.
God.
Kind of how I think of this every Thursday night.
Okay, hold on.
Like, did you pay for that, or?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how do we all not know this?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. I had some weird deal on my testicle, and I never did anything about it for like a couple years, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then one day, like it hurt like holy hell, and I couldn't walk. And so, they did like an emergency surgery on my nuts. And get this, like I meet with the doctor and everybody. They talk to me about the whole procedure. They don't say anything about this next part. And then I go into surgery, and right before I go into surgery, this guy's got like a clipboard, and he's like, "Hey, went down everything, but it doesn't say what kind of prosthetic you want." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, if you lose your testicle, you can have like I think at the time, whatever, silicone or whatever it was. There's like a couple options. And I'm like, "Hey, dude, nobody's talked to me about this. What do you, I don't even know what to say." And he's like, "You got to give me an answer." And I'm like, and they're like, "Hey man, we got to go. Hurry this up." And I'm like,
it doesn't feel like something that should be rushed.
Yes. I was like, just pick one. That's actually how I said, pick one. I'm done. I don't care. Pick one. Long story short, I got to keep both my testicles are real.
That's
I was waiting like all these years. We didn't know you had a fake testicle.
I thought we were about to find out that he's like one-eyed Jack over here.
Yes.
No, but my balls look like the top of a football. So
that's
perfect.
What Lisa has to look forward to every night.
Yeah.
Great episode.
Yes, this got real interesting real quick.
Molly said your chances are very high, and sorry, she's been asleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I love her.
It's probably good she didn't hear this episode based on what just happened.
It's okay. She'll go back through and listen. She does that.
For some reason, as Troy was telling that story, all I can envision was like the South Park episode where all the dudes are like microwaving their ball sacks and like, carrying them around in wheelbarrows. Troy, why did you not get that taken care of earlier on?
For years, man, it became like I bartended and stuff, and I would tell people I had a third testicle, and people would like touch it. I have lots of stories of people touching my third testicle.
Troy. Look, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the crazy one in this room right now. But if there was even a minor growth on my testicles, we're going to the doctor tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes, I was pretty sure that I was gonna have cancer or something in my testicles, and I was like, I don't really want to know. I'd rather just die. And so I just went years and years with it, and then, like I said, it got so big that it looked like it looked like I had like a baseball or like something attached to my. It just looked like a third giant baseball testicle.
Hold on,
and finally it hurt so bad, man.
Baseball.
Once it hurt, man, I was done for. Like that, it was very painful.
I was trying to roll with it for a while just to get some girth and size.
Right? Yeah, like you could like
it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, like if I kind of just like pushed my jeans a little bit, you could like see the bump and like people could touch it, and it was like hard, and it didn't bother me because it didn't hurt. I
am so incredibly uncomfortable with this conversation.
What a party trick!
Jesus
You're a
fucking
doctor.
Were you
Good God.
were
Get your shit together.
were you married to Lisa at this point?
Oh yeah. Yep.
How did Lisa feel about this? Get Lisa on the phone.
Yeah,
right
we
now.
kind of need Lisa. He's at the studio. I bet she's home.
But yeah, if I called her and asked her, she'd be like, "This is what her answer would be. Oh, I don't care. Whatever. That's Lisa's answer. That she wouldn't.
She was indifferent towards the third testicle.
I don't think it didn't have an effect on her.
I feel like we need to rename this episode Troy's third testicle.
Oh my God, my sister just
my
commented
dear.
the same thing.
Troy's best dressed third ball. Troy, I don't know.
Your testicle owes me 2 hours, Troy.
I just don't know how to feel about this all of a sudden. Like, am I disappointed in either one of you? I don't know. Like, why did Lisa not be like, Troy?
Why does Patrick have to make an emotional statement about Troy's third testicle? Is what
I don't know.
I think
you know what? I don't know how I feel about Troy's third testicle.
I'm pretty sure Lisa just always secretly wants me to die.
Oh, that's fair. JT, I'm currently practicing for our November 4th.
Our what?
6 hours of airtime, so we have to have opinions on everything.
It's yeah, we're gonna go all night for our November 4th episode. It's gonna be beautiful.
I'll be busy.
What is November 4th?
The election episode.
Oh, for fuck's sake! That's why I don't vote.
Anti-American.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Look at all of the comments.
Reptichip.
That was my grandmother. My grandmother's like, you don't have an opinion if you don't vote. I was like, I live in Texas. I know who you're voting for, and it doesn't matter.
You guys really should just be your own country in Texas. Like,
you know what? Texans believe that.
Well, we were.
Yeah, it should be 49 states and then Texas and then Mexico. Like, that's just how it should be.
It's a funny joke, but Texans
like
basically it's like Texas,
bitches.
and then the rest is just Canada. Like it's exactly how Texans look at it.
Yeah.
Do other states have to take like state history, like specific state history for that state, or do they take like U.S. history in high school?
Recite the Texas Pledge in the morning.
Well, no, I know.
I guarantee you, I never took an Iowa history class in any type of school.
Right, that's I guess what
cares. Even Iowa doesn't care. They're like,
it's just corn.
Yeah. So like
I mean, without us, you would all die. But I mean, there's that. But
yeah,
I mean,
in high school and then in college, we took a full year of Texas history. Like that's it. It was just Texas history. It's spectacular. It is.
I wish they would have taught you that your barbecue's not that great.
Whoa.
I'm out.
Well, and on that note, guys, we had a good running show, but it turns out Troy can't be on the show anymore. So,
can't wait. JT, are you a big fan of Terry Black's shit barbecue?
Okay, you know what, Troy? You can get on your tirade, but everybody's already voted that it was good. So fuck off.
I'm asking JT.
You know, of all the states that are known for barbecue, how Iowa's at the top of no, you don't? No, nobody does, because nobody's like, oh, dude, have you had that Iowa barbecue?
You come up here. I will smoke Terry Black's any day of the week.
No, you won't. With what?
With Iowa barbecue.
No. You know what's funny is I have multiple friends from Iowa, and they all say
you don't. You don't even have
shit.
multiple friends in the whole entire country.
This is true.
Multiple means more than 3 or something. I have a GED. I don't really know, but I know it means more than 2.
Sometimes you say things and it's just so hurtful. I don't know why I take this abuse.
You have 3 people on this podcast and not one of us likes you.
I don't think Troy.
I like you, Patrick.
Thank you, JT.
I like you, Pat.
See, JT loves me. That's why he calls me Pat, because he knows I love that so much. Thanks.
Guess what your next Reptichip palette is addressed to?
Dr. Pat.
Please.
Dr. Pat.
Can't wait. Maybe I won't be paying that invoice that was just sent to me a little bit
No,
ago.
I literally already scheduled it.
Oh shit.
Dr.
I guess.
Pat, so.
Oh, it does say Dear Pat McKnight. God damn it. That's amazing.
Speaking of a pallet, can you please ship me a pallet soon? Because I have like 6 bales left. And
Show.
Ooh.
Show enough.
Molly came in swinging. We need to pay attention. Do people who eat brown sugar get opinions on food? No, they don't. Agreed. Oh, how does that feel, Troy? How does that feel?
Molly, I will take Molly. You're going to learn to love brown sugar as you and I lie around in bed in it.
Oh my god!
Just circling in it.
Stop.
Isn't it time to mute him, or
that
like,
just sounds
just like let him roll like that, or what?
Yeah, we just let
no. Unfortunately, that's just him.
Yeah, we just let this happen.
Chase, I'm going to take so good care of your sister, dude. Like you're going to be so happy with me.
Really, JT? It's uncomfortable when people talk about marrying other friends' sisters.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, you just walk around a reptile show just doing multiple women.
God.
Not at the show.
Really? Because you made us put up a tarp around the booth.
That's true. And there were a lot of noises coming from behind that tarp.
Just come on. You blame him? Come on.
No. It's a lot of terror. At one point, I heard, whose horse is that? It was weird.
You guys want to really know how Reptichip's made? Hey, by the way, Chase, can you tell everybody about who our next week guest is?
No, I can't actually.
Why?
Oh, I think you can, Chase. I think you can.
Oh, it is that time, isn't it?
It is that time.
The wonderful Justin Kabelka will be our
guest.
What? Does he know that you're our co-host?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point because I've shared stuff all over my Instagram. So,
I think.
Oh, that's cute. You think he pays attention to you?
Oh yeah, he's always keeping an eye on me, in case I go off the rails too much.
Well, that's reasonable.
Do you think that he's? Do you think that he's over the fact that they had to bump him with me today and like? Hey,
I don't know. I think he's pretty upset that we were like, well, we finally got JT, so we're going to put you back away.
Wait, isn't he on a cruise or some shit?
Oh, Troy, you couldn't just go with the joke, huh?
Why, Troy?
No, I was just
backed it up. I'm trying here. I'm working.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Patrick literally filled you in tonight because we didn't have anybody, and I felt bad for you.
Oh, and Troy's not getting Reptichip.
I actually was on. You didn't want to do the show, JT. That you were very adamant in the back of my truck that you did not want to be on the show tonight, and I stuck up for you. And Patrick, your friend, was like, "No, blah blah blah, be on our really awesome show."
So, at what point did we decide to set fire to tonight? Like when did that happen?
You know what, JT? Just only send Troy broken pallets.
Just from right off the bat. Just fucking.
Hey, quiet. Never mind. We don't need to talk about this. Anyways,
yep.
I have a problem with some of my product on my pallet, but we'll talk about that.
You're asking about some of the other products, right? Right.
We have 2 minutes left, so this can't be a long conversation.
You got a new product for me?
Yeah, I got somebody else's for you.
Oh my god. I don't know how I feel about tonight. Things were going so well.
Horrible.
JT told a 47-minute story that could have been told in 6. It was good. It's fun.
Not bad.
Patrick, I like that you have hope for this show. It just blows my mind that every week you're like, oh, this is going to keep going. And me and Chase are over here just counting down the days.
We just keep showing up. Well, it's on. Guess we're here.
Wow, that makes me sad.
We do have a really good plan for February, though.
No, stop it. See, you already ruined the joke. No, it's not even a joke, actually. You just already ruined it.
Dude, there's 26 people here.
Troy,
30 more.
31.
Stop.
Nope.
No,
nope.
Now there's 30. Now there's 32.
Yep. You know what? This is the post MJ bump we get. It's the post.
Oh, Molly's gonna hang out until we sink. I love her.
Oh, thank you, Molly. Unfortunately,
I hope it's not like the Titanic though, and like that girl lets Jack sink to the bottom while she's on a giant ass door.
Oh, Molly's 100% letting someone just off the door. 100%.
You think she's just going to push him off?
Yes.
JT, are you waving goodbye?
Yeah.
Be funnier if you would have hit the X.
I mean, you can, but it would be kind of, you'd be the first guest to ever do that.
The audience bailed like fucking.
No, our audience has actually grown throughout the episode, which.
Yes. And people are asking for our chat GPT, which I'm sure will suck.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of content. Can instead of chat GPT tonight, can we have JT tell us one more story that I think is really funny?
Is it going to be 47 minutes long?
No, it won't be. JT, can you tell the tortoise?
Like my 47-minute story?
No, I did. That guy's being
Stop pointing in the wrong direction.
It's when my camera's backwards.
Thank you for your service, JT. Thank you. Is that what you needed from that story? Can you?
Yeah, I'd like you to thank me for my service too.
Yeah, I did. I do every time I call. Can you please tell us the tortoise?
He's literally never said that in his life to anybody.
Hey, will you be the best man at me and Molly's wedding?
Me?
Yeah.
No, she's not gonna want to marry you.
Dude, we're getting married.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's gonna be beautiful. Hold on. Okay, we gotta finish this with a funny story, but JT, we can't have it 47 minutes. Tell us about the tortoises. Go.
The tortoises fucking Afghanistan.
Yes.
That was one of my favorites.
Come on.
Okay. So what, 3 minutes?
I'm gonna give you 5. Okay. Go.
All right. So we were in a hide site trying to overwatch a village for a specific person in Afghanistan. So you're super secret and hidden and camouflaged and all that bullshit. And you're just literally spending days and days out there watching, listening, pooping in a bag and all that fun stuff. And you get pretty bored. So you're just looking around and you have like video on that people are seeing back in headquarters and stuff. And we noticed there was like tortoises walking around this valley or whatever. Anyway, so totally bored. So we usually watch the tortoises more than we watch like for the people we're supposed to be watching for. But I did notice like there's a tortoise coming on the left-hand side, you know, for fucking hours, right? Just like walking towards us. And then on the right-hand side, I noticed there's another tortoise walking towards us for hours. It's the only entertainment we have outside of watching villagers, which is like watching them do laundry, which is great. Anyway, for hours and hours, we watched these tortoises. And to our horror, these tortoises were actually trying to connect. So now, granted, we had spent like 4 days in this fucking little hide site that we were trying. Like, you don't want to draw attention, obviously. You're not there. You're not supposed to be there. So it turns out the 2 tortoises hook up right in front of our position. And if anybody's ever heard tortoises fuck before, it's louder than any human fuck would ever happen. Like, if you imagine an elephant fuck, that's what the fuck you're talking about here. They scream at the top of their tortoise lungs, like, and it echoes throughout the fucking valley. Right? And so I'm literally like, hey, we're compromised. We got to go. And everybody's like, no, we can't fucking, we've been here for 4 fucking days. We haven't found our target. And like, I'm like, everybody's looking at us because there's tortoises humping and screaming right in front of our position. And so we literally like had to pack up and leave. And when we got back, like the higher headquarters, like we're doing debrief and shit. And they're like, how are you compromised? Somebody stepped, somebody like, a villager stepped on you, or like you didn't have the right position. I was like, no, there's tortoises fucking in front of my position. And they're like, we try to put you in charge and shit. I'm like, dude, no, seriously, like it's a thing. So they go back and watch the video, and like I heard people in the background laughing because they were rewatching a video of my guys like scanning from the fucking village to the tortoises fucking, and then like the money shot with the male tortoise was like this, like screaming in the air, and they were like, "We didn't know it was a thing." I was like, "Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing anyway." So, American military lesson right there is don't get compromised by tortoises fucking in front of your position.
I just love the idea that there's like these people at the Pentagon that are like literally watching a live stream of tortoises fucking.
Yeah. Some of this stuff was going up to high levels and shit. So it is what it is. Had no idea about it. It's probably on. It's probably been on every future mission brief for the last 20 years. You think? Hey, look, if you see tortoises coming towards your position, like they probably have some anti-tortoise bullshit now. They're like,
right,
and everybody knows about it. They're like, yeah, for the tortoises.
Oh, that's so good. I love that so much. That makes me smile. All right, JT, thank you. This episode was good. It was good.
I hope it was as big of a dumpster fire as you had hoped.
No, it was perfect. It was great.
Always for Troy. Patrick and I always have a great time.
Yeah, I had a good time. I mean, I'm slowly dying from the flu, but other than that, it's been fantastic. Troy, smile. Thank you. JT, what's the best way for people to reach out to you?
You hit me up at jt@reptichip.com on, obviously all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Reptichip.
If people want to buy Reptichip, is the website the best way to go about it?
Reptichip.com, or you can hit your local distributors, which are also listed on reptichip.com. Our pricing is all inclusive with shipping on the website, but you know what? You're going to save that pricing when you hit your local distributor, either hometown distributor or at your local reptile show. So
awesome. What's the next show that people have a shot to see you at?
I'll be at Tinley, probably Conroe this end of the month, and Dallas, the new Dallas NARBC show in April.
Okay, cool.
Patrick,
guys,
have you heard from Paul from Eugene lately?
I haven't. I don't.
All right.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Hey, what do we have to do to have after hours late to the mic? We should have some private thing where people go and it's not on air, and for an hour after the show, and we just talk stupid shit that we talk here anyways.
A horrible idea.
We'll figure something out. Okay.
I'll be on the phone with Molly.
Fair enough. All right, my voice is going, so I'm about done. Guys,
I hope you're breaking. I hope you stop breathing.
JT, thanks for being on, man.
Yeah, thank you for being on.
I love you. Thank you for the good times at Pomona this weekend, and I look forward to more JT time.
Yeah.
Yes,
and to everybody listening, seriously, guys, I can't thank y'all enough for the support. It really is humbling going to the shows and hearing how much y'all seem to enjoy us acting like asshats on the show. And I really do appreciate the kind words and the encouragement. So I look forward to seeing y'all at Tinley. And I look forward to seeing y'all next week as we have Justin on. So
who's Justin from? Where's he from?
Just a small company, Canova.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah.
What's he known for? Do you think he'll advertise for us this week, Chase? Do you think he'll put something on his Instagram that he's going to be on our shit show?
Oh, 100%. I'll make sure it happens.
I'll text Summer. We'll get this happen. So
yeah.
All right. I love you guys. Thank you everybody for listening. Until next week. Late to the mic. Out.
See ya.